I've had a lot of people contacting me over the last couple of months asking me what's gone on between me and MA. I've not replied to any of you. The reason for that is, quite frankly, it's none of your business. I'm fed up of airing my dirty washing in public, something I used to do. I used to fall for all this bloody shit stirring stuff. I'm not saying that anyone who's contacted me is shit stirring. A lot of people have just contacted to say, you know, how are you and stuff like that. And those ones I've replied to. But when people have asked what's going on between you and MA, I've not replied because that's just nosy. But after his latest live stream, I thought I need to clarify something here. I don't want to do this video. Like I say, I used to fall for this bloody goading a long time ago, like with Steve's Burger and Jen's Gems and all the people in the past that I've had issues with. And as MA said in his latest live stream, there are people out there that will shit stir, and that's why I don't generally get involved or speak to people about my personal stuff, because they'll use it against you. Now, just have a look at this clip here.
But yeah, strange. I mean, I think it's weird because somebody sent me something recently, and of someone that I thought I could trust, and very weird, very weird. When you think you know someone, and then you realise maybe you don't know them at all. So, odd. You think you know someone, and then you don't. So, someone sent me something, and it seems like there's another UK Go Surreal situations going on in a similar way, let's say. Very odd, very odd. You don't know anyone. That's the thing with this. You really, really don't know anyone, unless again it's just someone else shit stirring now. Very, very odd. But at the end of the day, though, from now, what I'll be doing is, regarding Mandela effect, is certainly keeping the Mandela effect and that separate from anything else that I do, and the people that I engage with will be different. You know, I'll have. It's just odd. It's just odd. It's always the same thing all the time. It's odd. It's odd. It's like everyone wants to stab each other in the back, and they're up to, everyone seems to be up to no good. Everyone seems to be sinister and out for themselves and think something else is going on, and very jealous of things, and yet they're doing all sorts of things that you know about that they're not telling you that's snidey. You're like, well, so what? It's not my business. You do what you want. But then when they suspect something, and then it's just fucking weird. People are fucking weird. So yeah, I shall keep certain things separate and keep things in a certain direction, and be a little bit more careful now, because I think, well, the evidence sort of proves things. Just got to be careful. Just got to be careful. It's like when people say, would you meet anyone who's got the Mandela effect and that? My answer is no. No, but I can.
Now, it's obvious, certainly by the last comment, who he's talking about there, and it's clearly me. Would you meet anybody, you know, to do with the Mandela effect? No, I wouldn't do that again. Now, he has met up with a few people. Some of them have turned out to be bad apples. I won't go into that, but you know, it's quite clear that somebody's trying to shit stir again there. I don't care, and if he's gonna get taken in by that, that's fine. Although I'm surprised, because he's well aware of this situation, you know, like things like this happening. And I mean, even in his own words here.
But anyway, as I was saying, when we first started with the Mandela Effect and we're on here, there was quite a lot of people that were stirring the pot and causing conflict and sending emails and messages and stirring it. There was a guy near here that was causing trouble between me and Brian Staveley, which you may not be aware of. He was doing that for months, about 6 months or something, maybe longer, and he was doing all sorts, you know. Like I say, Staveley didn't seem to react to that or whatever, so full respect to him for that. It's like with other people out there. There was somebody trying to stir things with me in Moneybags. That was years ago now. That was right near the start. There was 3 or 4 that were doing it with me and Need Input. 3 or 4 of them. No, there wasn't actually. There was about 6. There was about 6 that were doing it with myself and Need Input, just totally causing trouble. But at that time, it was like you don't know who to believe on anything. But obviously, going the distance now, you realise where all this shit's come from all the time. And I'm trying to think who else there was people causing trouble between. But yeah, there was loads causing lots and lots of trouble at the start. And I don't know how long's it been now. It's been about 2 years or something when I stopped listening to anyone doing out like that, and changed the way that I just don't believe anyone on there. When they say, "Oh, such a body said this" and all that lot, and all these people trying to stir stuff, doesn't mean out to me.
This shit's always going to happen online. I don't care. I don't get involved in drama anymore. Like I say, I used to get roped in quite easily, and part of it was also, like, it's another video that'll get a load of views, but I don't care about that anymore. That's why I don't post up videos about the Mandela Effect anymore, because there's more drama with it than it's quite frankly worth. I'm also not sure whether we should be sharing this sort of stuff with unaffected people. Again, I don't want to talk about the Mandela Effect online, not because I don't think it's important. It is. It's the most important thing that's ever happened in the whole history of the world. But it's not for everyone. If people aren't affected, they're not affected for a reason. I agree with MA on this one. Not everybody is affected. There's got to be a reason for that. Anyway, what basically happened is, at the end of July, I was completely out of my sleeping patterns, and this happens to me a lot. As I've discussed many times in the past, the time is different here. It goes by much faster. My body clock is still on the old world time. I wish I could get out of it. I wish I could adapt to the time of this place, but I can't. I'll be awake for 20 hours and sleep for 10 hours, and you cannot keep a regular pattern with it. And right at the end of July, we spoke, and I said, look, because we speak more or less every day, or we did. And I said, look, I'm not going to, like next few days, I'm going to try and reset my pattern again. So I'll be going to bed later and later. Because I used to force myself to get up at like 10 in the morning or something. That was about the earliest I could manage. And try and keep a pattern. But eventually it'd get you, and it'd make you so tired, and you couldn't keep up with it. I mean, it's 3 o'clock it's 3:30 in the morning now when I'm making this. I won't be going to bed for at least 3 hours, 4 hours or whatever. So every now and again I have to go through this. It's probably about once a month. I have to go through this period of trying to reset my clock, and I'll try and stay up for like 28 hours, 30 hours or something, and then go to sleep, and then try and not sleep for too long, get up again, and just try and get back to some sort of normality. So I was doing that, and so for about, I don't know, 4 days or something, he couldn't get hold of me. And he tried ringing me in that time, but he hadn't got hold of me. I was getting up at silly o'clock in the morning, so I wasn't going to ring him back at that time. It's not unusual. This happens. He knows it happens. No reason for him to think there's anything out the ordinary there. After about 3 or 4 days after we'd had that conversation, I got a text off him. Me and my partner are in your area having a meal. And I think it was about 7:30 at night or something. I got that message. I was asleep. I'd woke up about 11:30. Bit groggy, got up and that. I think I read his message at about somewhere getting on towards midnight, and I thought, oh, fucking hell, missed him. He didn't let me know beforehand he was coming down or anything, because he doesn't let anybody know ahead of time, you know, like even when he's coming down to visit and stuff like that. It's kind of, you know, I'll be there Tuesday or Wednesday, no time or anything like that. And even when he does arrange a time, he's never going to be there at that time. And he's the first to tell you that. In fact, he was saying something in his last live stream about he'd done the caulking in the kitchen and ended up getting down here really late, and he wondered whether that story was still the same my side. Yeah, it was, and he was late. He said he dropped a battery or something glass on the floor. When he says this cell thing, that's different. But he had dropped something on the floor. It made a mess. I thought it was paint. But anyway, whatever it was, he'd knocked that over on the floor. He'd had to clear that up. He'd had to finish this caulking off. Confirm that 100%. And he actually got down here at about 1:30, not 11:30. Again, normal. I mean, like the amount of time. One time, it was I'll be there before midday, and we'll get out and do something. And he wasn't, because he stopped off to see a friend on the way down, and he was there for about 5 hours. And so when he got down here, I think that time he was here about 11:30 at night. I'm pretty sure that's the night as well when he ended up with the earbud stuck in his ear. We had to go to the hospital. Could have been a different time, I don't know. Anyway.
God. There's a guy that I don't want to mention him, because I've already got a bit of a thing going with him at the moment. We don't see the same things in the same way. I'll keep it nice. No, I'm not gonna go into that. There's too much going on behind the scenes, so I'm not gonna bring that up on here. Unless he wants to, unless he's around, unless this researcher from the UK, who I did respect at one point, whether you know him or not on here, you know, I'm quite happy for him to come venting on it if he wishes. Not that I'll make an issue of anything, because a lot of the stuff that he did was quite good, and it was his work, but he's turned into a bit of a charlatan. But he's done some Titanic stuff, and I'm quite happy if he wants to come on. I'll certainly debate with him if he thinks he's cleverer than me. I'm quite happy to debate anything that he's covered in his life. I'm aware of a lot of his work, if not 99% of it, especially the old stuff, 100%. But one of the things I'd like to say is he's wrong. I'd imagine he'd be hovering at the moment, but if he wants to come on, I'll certainly debate anything with him. I certainly know his work, but I know it differently than how it is today. He's published a lot of stuff. He's published a fair amount of stuff.
Anyway, even after he'd said the stuff he'd said, and I don't know, you might say that's not him, or what, he wasn't talking about me or whatever. It's pretty clear to me that he was, and it was the one word in there, charlatan, which I really took offence to, and I just decided, well, even once I'd got back into my pattern, because this is all within the space of about a week and a half. I'd reset my pattern to an extent, and I heard that stream. I was watching it live actually, and I just thought, right, well, if that's what you think of me, then that's fine. No hard feelings. We'll both get on with our own lives then. I'm not going to spend time with somebody that thinks that of me. I'm upset because he was my best friend, and other than that, I can't say I've got any issues with him, or had any issues with him. Yeah, we disagreed on stuff. I mean, like with the videos what we was doing for the bald and short of it, with disagreements over that on the way to go about it, and he was uploading the stuff we was going out and doing. He was uploading on his main channel, and we did have a disagreement about that. I'm saying, look, they're not going to watch it on your channel and then come over and watch it on the bald and short of it. Let's face it, it's the same bloody audience on both. There's a few people on the bald and short of it that don't watch on the Mandela Effect stuff, probably don't even know anything about it. But the bulk of our audience on there was Mandela Effect people, and I was upset. Fucking phone. I was upset that he was uploading stuff on his main channel, and that we weren't going to get the views on the bald and short of it. So I stopped doing videos for it. Wasn't that big a deal to me, but because I was getting a bit fed up of trying to beat the YouTube system on that anyway. Trying to build a channel on YouTube now, it's just impossible. We weren't getting anywhere with it. So I understand why he was uploading the stuff on his normal channel, but it was just like, well, I'm not prepared then to put all the work into doing the videos for the bald and short of it. Simple as. It's the only disagreement really I can think that we've ever had, and we didn't fall out over it or anything. We just disagreed and got on with things. It was still good to go out and see new places, because that's why we were going out to see places, was preliminarily for the Mandela Effect, and to see effects and to see this new world, explore this new world. And we started the bald and short of it to try and monetize on that, to fund us being able to do this, because none of us have money. We're both bloody poor, enough to get by, but it costs a lot of money to go out to these places, especially when we have to stay in hotels and stuff. Most of the time we was able to stay here and then travel out, but then it's still money in petrol. So either way, especially at the moment, so either way, to be able to do that and carry on doing what we wanted to do, we needed to fund it somehow. So that was the idea of the bald and short of it channel. So yeah, there's no hard feelings from me. It's just another friendship lost. we've all had that. Everybody in the Mandela Effect community has lost everything already. We've already lost everyone we knew, and we're going to lose more people along the way. It's just one of those things. I'm over it. I'm not over it. I accept that's just part of life, and you just got to get on with it and move on, haven't you? So, like I said, there's no hard feelings from me. You're not going to hear me coming on and slagging him off. You're not going to hear me telling his secrets or anything like that. Anything he's ever told me in confidence is in confidence, and I've never broke anybody's confidence ever. So there's none of that. I won't be telling you his bloody name or anything like that. People that want to know his name, it's irrelevant. Doesn't matter. Even if you found his name out tomorrow, it'd mean nothing to you. You'd be like, oh right, I know it now. Great. Nothing you can do with it. It's pointless. So there's none of that. Like I say, I have no bad feelings towards him whatsoever. I appreciate the time we had together. We had a lot of fun, learnt a lot, but he thinks I'm a charlatan, then the other things he was saying about, his early stuff was good, but his later stuff, I've not put up videos for 2 or 3 years on the Mandela Effect, so he's only just said that recently, so I don't even think he believes that himself. I think I don't know, I think he was trying to probe a reaction out of me there, probably just to try and get me to get back in touch with him, although he did change his phone number, and so I wasn't able to get back in touch with him. So I actually got a message, I think it was last week or something. Oh, sorry, this didn't send. That old chestnut. I've used that myself many times. I only just read your message. And so I didn't even know his number for the last couple of months. But like I say, I have no hard feelings. It's just one of those things. It's yet another loss. I'll miss doing the things that we used to go and do. I had a lot of fun, but that's life.